lot of you have probably heard of different ways of making chips using cottage cheese. And most of the recipes call for spooning them out onto parchment paper and then baking them in an oven for 350 for 30 minutes or something like that. But those don't always turn out that well, and I found a better way of making them, and they come out perfectly every time, and they only take about 5 minutes in the microwave. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So what you need is a piece of parchment paper and a plate. And what I do is I take some scissors and I cut around the plate with the scissors. I take the piece of parchment and stick it on there and just cut around it like that, and just go all the way around until you have a round piece of parchment. So just like that. Then I take it and I like to wrinkle it up. This just makes it a little bit easier to work with. It doesn't curl up on you. And so wrinkle it up like that, and then spread it out and lay it flat like that. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to mix up the cottage cheese. Okay, the next step is you take some cottage cheese. I like to use 2%. You can use low-fat, non-fat, or 4% cottage cheese. They all pretty much come out the same, but I've had the best luck with 2%. And so what I do is I just spoon it into about 1/3 of a cup, measuring cup. And then I take that and spoon that into a 1 cup measuring cup. So I do that, spoon it in there like that. Then I take 1 teaspoon of Hidden Ranch. I use Hidden Ranch dip mix. And now you can use regular Hidden Ranch or even a generic brand of dip mix, but they all work well. And this one happens to be a Buffalo Ranch dip, but it doesn't have to be Buffalo Ranch. You can just use regular ranch dip. And I found that even the cheaper generic ones work just fine. A store brand doesn't have to be anything fancy. So you just mix it in there and then spread it out onto your parchment paper like that. And then take a spoon and spread it out into a nice flat sort of a pancake type thing here. So I'll do that with the spoon. Try to get it as thin as you can. If the cottage cheese is runny when you first open it, you might want to stir it up a little bit and make sure you get it so that it's not too runny. So there's that. Okay, next thing we're going to do is put it in the microwave. And we'll take our plate and we'll put it inside there. And we're going to set it to 5 minutes. All right, that was 5 minutes. So now I'm going to take the bowl out of the microwave, and it's pretty hot, so you got to be careful. And right here, this is how it should look. It's a little bit brown, but not burned. Even if it is burned, though, it still tastes pretty good. So then what you do, you take your parchment paper and turn it upside down, and then I start flipping it over, and by just kind of like pulling it off upside down like that. It's laying on another piece of parchment paper to hold it. So there, okay, so now I got it off of there, and it should look like this. You can see both sides here. So what I do is I put it back on, and I'm just going to give it another 20 seconds or so just to crisp it up even a little bit more. All right, there's the second 20 seconds, and now we'll take it off, and this is what it looks like. We'll take it off of there and just lay it on the other piece of parchment paper, which is right here. And you can just let it sit for maybe, I don't know, 10 seconds or so. So let's let it sit for about 20 seconds, and then I'll show you what to do with it next. All right, so it's been sitting for about half a minute or so. So now what we want to do is we want to break it up into bite-sized pieces. So what I do is I use a plastic bag. I've already got some in here, and I just kind of put it inside the bag and just break it up. So the pieces, you can see, I'll show you, I'll break off a couple pieces here, but they break off nice, real easy. They don't fall apart. They're nice and crispy and evenly cooked all the way through. So you just break them off like that, and that's about the right size there. And then you just put them in the bag, and they'll last for several days without getting soggy. And you can try different flavors. Some people like everything but the bagel seasoning, but I prefer the ranch personally. But anyway, that's how you do it. So I hope you try it, and you will be very surprised at how good they are. So thanks for watching.